Hello everyone, it's Darksec here again. Welcome back for another video, and we are focusing on Egg Druid on Wild Mode. Now, I've taken a deeper interest in Egg Druid over the last few weeks, and I've been watching Twitch streams with pro players like Jackie Chan and Control the Board, watching them play Egg Druid expertly on their Twitch streams, and you know, I've been dabbling with Egg Druid, and it's a lot of fun. Now, this is actually a deck that I played last season, and I never got a chance to publish the video because we ran out of time, got to the end of the month, but I just want to showcase this deck now because it's an interesting take on Egg Druid, and in a couple of weeks' time I'll look at Control the Board's deck, I'll look at Jackie Chan's Egg Druid, and maybe we can compare their decks to this deck. How does this deck work? You've got early game, Dragon Egg, Enchanted Raven, Firefly, Living Roots, etc., and you want to buff them up with the likes of a Mark of the Lotus, with Power of the Wild. You've got some eggs in the deck. Devilsaur Egg, Nerubian Egg. Again, you want to buff those up. Card draw is relatively plentiful here. You have Double Jeeves and Cult Master. And if you want to protect your face, Defender of Argus is there too. An interesting addition to this deck is Evolving Spores for that flexible buff. You know, you get to choose a buff, and that can be quite interesting. Maybe you can find lethal through doing that. So the deck is good, although I do have some questions. I mean, Devilsaur Egg, Nerubian Egg, oh, that's a lot of eggs. How good are all of those eggs? I mean, we you know, do you get to a situation where you have, I don't know, Devilsaur Egg and a Nerubian Egg on board, and you don't draw into a buff effect? So they are dead cards on board, can't do anything with them. Control the Board said that Egg Druid that doesn't play Soul of the Forest is not a good Egg Druid deck. So we're going to see how this deck fares on the Wild Mode ladder. Okay, heading into our first game here, and we're going to mulligan away both of those Devilsaur Eggs. Now, I said something earlier about eggs being dead cards potentially, dead in hand, dead on board if you can't buff them up. So we get rid of them, and we hope for something else perhaps. Maybe Cult Master is not what I want to see so early in the game. I'm in charge now. Well, it's Pirate Warrior. So we're going for maximum board presence, and my hope is that he'll just go face. That's my hope. If he's smart, he'll consider doing some trading, because interesting. Because how does Egg Druid win the game? Egg Druid wins the game with board presence. And he did the smart thing, he traded. Right, that ship's cannon has to die, so that's why I made a trade there. Now, it's quite likely that any pirate he plays, does kill my minion, which is unfortunate. However, it's okay. The cannon is at 1 health. I can hero power. It's fine. So this is a board control game, in essence, against pirates. We're both aggressive decks. We both play cheap minions. He plays weapons. I play buff effects. That's pretty much how we go. And as the game goes on, I guess he ramps up a little. You know, he plays some minions that are a little bit more expensive. Corcoran Elite, as you saw there. Maybe Leroy. For me, though, as I say, it's a case of playing stuff, buffing it up, and hoping for the best. So I've got these 2 eggs in hand. May as well buff one of them. So we have a 1/4 on board. That's not terribly threatening in terms of attack power. It does contest the Buccaneer, though. My blade be thirsty. That's a problem. At least he's armouring up and not doing anything else. I don't care about his health here. As long as we can take control of the board, we can just burst him down eventually. It's not an issue. not really left with much of a choice here, but to potentially play this other egg, and then to use Power of the Wild here. Debating between the Panther or the buff. We've gone with the Panther just for board presence. Both of those minions will kill the Frothing Berserker. Of course he has a weapon. Of course he has a taunt. And of course he goes face. I guess he feels pretty safe behind the taunt there. Power of the Wild here. Defender of Argus. We have options, right?
My shield for Argus.
I don't know if this is correct, but what it does do is it puts down some good taunts. So he's going to struggle now to kill me quick enough, because he has to get through both of those eggs. But when he kills the eggs, we get a Devil Saw and we get a Nerubian. So we'll get a 5/5 and a 4/4. And we have Cult Master for card draw. It's not often that you see Cult Master played in Egg Druid. I think the assumption is that Jeeves, or 2 copies of Jeeves, are enough. So this is, I guess, an ultra card draw version of the deck. You know, it just really values the card draw, really values being able to play stuff every turn, drawing cards whenever you need them. We're just playing everything. Just playing everything there. Pirate Warrior doesn't run Brawl, but this is Wild Mode, and it is absolutely possible that he's going to be running strange cards just to surprise me.
Maybe.
And often, when they lose the board like this, it's really hard for them to come back. Although what they can do is they can burst you down significantly over 1 turn, over 2 turns. You know, double Mortal Strike, for example, would hit for 12 once the warrior goes below a certain health total. And we have to keep that in mind. Oh wow. It's going face. Is he dead? +1/+1? Yeah, goodbye.
For the wild.
So +1/+1 there was a more expensive Power of the Wild.
Well played.
Not sure what I think about Evolving Spores. Not sure what I think here. Okay, it's another warrior. This is the test for Fiery War Axe. If he has the War Axe, we're really sad. Because again, I've said it before, this deck wins through board. Okay, that's just as bad. Although, having said that, at some point in the game, that was probably going to go face, right? But anyway, we're really dependent on getting minions down early. And he's foiling our attempts at doing that. What we'd be looking for next turn is a 1-drop, which we could play with Power of the Wild. And this warrior is also smart. He understands that I need the board. So he's trading too. Right. This is good now. This is really good. I can now start to build the board here. And I chose the life tap, the Warlock hero power. That's risky against a Pirate Warrior because the more I tap, the closer to death I take myself. Pirate Warrior is very aggressive, will do everything he can to burst me down. Okay, forget that. This Pirate Warrior values trading.
My shield for Argus.
Well, it's good for me because I can just keep tapping now, and I can refill the board. And if he follows the same logic, he'll keep trading, ignore my face, I'll keep tapping, refill the board, and we win the game. That's the strategy here. Oh, this is good. This is looking very, very good. Look at the differences in health total. 17 to 28. And Savage Roar is sitting in hand. He can't throw that weapon into that egg. He can't. So a taunted up egg there. So good. Oh gosh, is this lethal? Doing a bit of counting here. Did it count again? I believe it is lethal. Yeah. There we go. Wow. Just like that. Who was the aggressor in that game? Wow, it certainly wasn't the Pirate Warrior.
Let the hunt begin. I must protect the wild.
Okay. Going up against a hunter. This is going to be a slightly different game, I guess, comparative to the warrior. I'm keeping Power of the Wild because it's a buff effect. Okay, that's not what I wanted to see. I wanted to see perhaps another 1-drop or a 2-drop. That's not ideal. 2 Power of the Wilds in hand, so next turn I may just make a Panther. Various Mulligan guides that I've read for Egg Druid always say keep 1 buff effect in hand, you know. So, I don't know. Okay, this will work out though. He has the coin. And what does he do? Of course. Of course. Oh wow, he's not killing the minions. Oh my goodness. That may just have lost him the game.
Spectacular.
And I'm so thrilled with that. I'm going to emote spectacular because that may have just lost him the game. I can now buff this board and get some really good trades. I understand he's valuing the aggression. And you know what? I'm going to be greedy. I'm not buffing the board yet. We're going to wait. We can afford to wait. Let's see if he trades. Oh, he is trading. Okay. That plan backfired there, maybe. I probably should have buffed the board and cleared 1 more of his minions. That's, I don't know. That's very awkward to deal with now. Do I have to Savage Roar here?
What to do?
I think I do. My plan kind of backfired. Is it Savage Roar or do I just double Power of the Wild? This is so awkward. Really, really awkward. Yikes. But it's okay. We're taking 6. We're alright with that. we get the Devil's Saw. But the reason it's awkward is because Savage Roar is a finisher for you, and sometimes when you're playing low value, low attack, low health minions, Savage Roar is the only way. Oh wow, Savage Roar is the only way to get lethal easily. But in this case, he saw the Devil's Saw and he thought, I can't deal with that. Hey, it worked out. Okay. Looking at one final game, and we're looking to get to rank 5 here, and it's against the Mage. Now this is a really good opening hand. Double Living Roots. All we're looking for now is a buff card. Okay. No, that's not the buff card I was looking for, but it may help. We've seen Savage Roar used for trading, so that may become a possibility. He's doing the smart thing. Rather than playing a minion, he's clearing my minions. So the setup for Nerubian Egg begins. Next turn we have Mark of the Lotus, we have another Living Roots, we have Abusive Sergeant. We can play all 3 of those cards. Well, he's still doing the smart thing. He's clearing board. That's good for him. I have the coin. So, we fill the board. We buff our eggs. And I could have played Abusive Sergeant there. And I could have cleared the Mana Worm. But I didn't. Holding back that Abusive. Don't ask me why. That was a misplay. I should have cleared. I should have cleared that Mana Worm. Don't know why I held back there. That was a bad misplay, I think. But it's okay. We get the value now, right? We get the value now, and the question is, yeah, I'm buffing the Dragon Egg for the attack there. That's fine. Just going for board here, a wider board. That strategy of trading the Dragon Egg in and preserving the Nerubian is sort of saying, well, if you have AoE, fine, but you risk popping that Nerubian Egg. So it's sort of saying to him, don't play AoE. Although having a 4/4 Nerubian on board does mean that we can kill him quicker. You know, 4 attack is pretty good. You can tell that I'm pretty new at playing Egg Druid. Not very experienced with it, but it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. We could have drawn a card by trading there, but it's fine.
When Earth moves, empires fall.
If we get another buff effect, we're good. Oh, Jeeves, hello. This is really good.
Can I help you, sir?
And we're actually dumping the coin. We're actually dumping the coin. Right, this is a pretty strong board. Sure, he's gonna ping the Nerubian, but that's 2 mana out of 7 taken up. So then what else is he gonna do? And pinging the Nerubian is fine. We just run into Defender of Argus. So we can think very carefully next turn about where to place Defender of Argus and which minions will benefit from being buffed up. That is absolutely fine. Oh, hello. Another egg. Fancy that. So, what do we do here? And, yeah, I've made the decision not to buff anything up. Because that is what I was waiting for, yeah. So we hold back on Defender of Argus, and we'll use the Power of the Wild next turn, along with Mark of the Lotus. So I value just playing stuff here, hoping that there's no major AoE. And it would appear that this is an elemental mage, and it would appear that the strategy of just playing stuff has worked out. It's worked out pretty well. Going wide on the board here against the mage, and if we just buff everything now, how much damage is that? Maybe he'll concede before we have to calculate it. Yeah, that's disgusting, isn't it? Absolutely disgusting. And there we go, rank 5. Happy days. Okay, so this egg druid that I found on Hearthstone, it's different. It's interesting compared to other versions of egg druid. For a start, it runs evolving spores. I've seen some pro players say that's a terrible card to run and that you shouldn't run it. Instead, you should run Soul of the Forest. It runs Cult Master for card draw. And I've just realised Runic Egg. 2 Runic Eggs in this deck for even more card draw to go with Jeeves. I'm not sold on Devilsaur Egg and Nerubian Egg and Runic Egg in this deck. It's a lot of eggs. Now, I got lucky. I drew into my buff effects, which I was able to use. But what if you don't? And what if that, what if for 2 or 3 turns you don't draw into buff effects? Sure, some of those eggs are good counters to AoE and they sort of cause your opponent to think twice about AoEing, but sometimes if you can't buff the eggs and if they're just sitting dead on the board and you're facing off against, let's say, an aggro opponent, they'll just aggro you down and ignore the eggs. And then by the time you get a chance to buff them and trade, it's too late. So, I don't know. I'm not convinced with so many eggs being in the deck. And I don't know if it needs so much card draw. Cult Master, Runic Egg, and Double Jeeves. But you've seen there that I was able to traverse the ladder last season and get to rank 5, which is my target, with this deck, and it worked out pretty well. So in a couple of weeks, we'll look at Jackie Chan's Egg Druid, and we'll compare it to this deck, and we'll see which deck operates with more efficiency. I have a feeling that Jackie's deck will be the more efficient one. But thank you very much for joining me, everyone. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please subscribe, and I'll see you all again very soon.